Mic testing. All right, I'd like to open this meeting at 6:35 p.m. on Monday the 3rd of February 2025. We'd like to start with a statement of acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that the land that we meet on today are the traditional lands for the Gawler people and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also acknowledge the Gawler people as the custodians of the Greater Adelaide region and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still as important to the living Gawler people today. We're going to start with roll call. We'd like to note that Aislinn and Molly's names have accidentally been left off of the agenda. And with apologies, we have apologies from Edward Sharp, Ace Selleck and Molly Jones. Do we have any motions to grant leave of absence? We have one noted from Natalie White, and she will not be returning until the 3rd of February 2025, so we can expect her to be back for our next meeting. On to public open forum, we'd like to welcome Ken and James from U-Turn to talk about the new headspace location for Gawler. If you'd like to head up to the stand.
Hi. Jeez, this is amazing. Thanks for hearing us out. So yeah, we're here representing U-Turn. So obviously you may have heard that U-Turn has won a tender to run a headspace in Gawler. So Ken and I are from U-Turn Youth Enhanced Service, which is based in the city. So we cover most of the Adelaide metropolitan area, and just wanted to come here to share some information about U-Turn in general, because it's quite a new organisation to Adelaide, but has been running, I think, since '89 in Queensland. So they run 5 headspace centres up there, along with suicide prevention services and child safety services, and another youth enhanced service program in Toowoomba as well. So a lot of the headspace centres are set up in rural spaces where they provide a lot of outreach support. So I guess U-Turn's becoming a bit more of a presence within Adelaide. We've been going for about 2 years in the youth enhanced service, providing intensive mental health support for young people between 12 and 25, from mental health counselling, clinical care coordination and peer support work, providing very flexible options in home, within the office, and community outreach programs as well, along with a range of group programs. So I guess why we're here is because while we've won the tender, we're still looking for space within the town itself to, I guess, set up shop, as you would say, and get any feedback from what you might like to see, where that space might be, what a headspace in Gawler should look like, or you'd like to look like, and also providing some feedback over time as it's being set up and operated. And we will provide some just like information pamphlets about U-Turn and a contact details. So if you do wish to write us, ask us any questions or provide any feedback, from that point, if not wanting to ask questions today, that's fine. Ken, did you want to add anything?
No, I think that I think for any headspace to work, I think we would really appreciate young people sort of telling us like what you would like to see happen. And I think that's normally how the headspace centre is set up for some period of time to get preference and what service, headspace you would like to see from headspace. So each centre is different, and say U-Turn runs about 6 or 7, but it's all in regional Queensland, not in the sort of big cities. So each centre try to sort of provide headspace services according to what the young people in that region would like to see. So some centre probably focus more on groups, for instance, some more therapy or counselling, some others something a little bit different. So I think that's something that I think you two would like to sort of really like the help, I guess, of young people here, especially in this room, really, if you're interested, who can sort of advise us really what mental health service you would like to see. And there's a lot of say, obviously Headspace have a particular sort of way that they have to provide the service, but at the same time, Headspace is set up to be really try to incorporate, I guess, lots of your preferences of people who actually live there. So that's why we're here, and I think, yeah, so.
Yeah. So I suppose if there's any questions that you'd like us to field while we're here.
Does anybody have any questions? Emerson? Yeah.
So with you saying that each centre is different, would you be trying to offer a space where it would be just a call centre, or would it be more like people could walk in and come and talk to someone randomly? Let's say it is during your time of open, someone's just desperate. Would they be able to walk in? Would it be where you could facilitate someone until, let's say, emergency service could get there if they're at that point? Or would it be more just like a therapist, counsellor, or in like a call centre type vibes?
If you'd like to repress the button.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's a good question. I don't think we're looking for a call centre vibe. With most mental health services, there's no wrong door policy. So let's say you are in crisis and Headspace is there, it would, you'd be able to walk in there and someone would be able to support you or wait for emergency services with you. Ideally, like the Headspace model is to work, on appointment times. You book in, you meet, and then it depends on what kind of service. Like, is it counselling? Is it peer support work? What kind of support you're receiving there. But it's definitely more of a face-to-face model that they're looking for here.
Amazing, thank you. Do we have any other questions? Jade?
I guess more just thinking out loud. Gawler Main Street is very accessible to young people. You'll find lots of people walking up and down, enjoying their day. In other, you've mentioned regional towns is where you're mostly set up. Do you tend to have these on Main Street, or would they be like kind of out the way per se? Because Gawler, especially if a person wanted to get there by bus, if they were a young student, for example, public transport doesn't quite reach everywhere in our town at the moment. So just thinking out loud, because Main Street can be quite busy, so it might be daunting for someone in need to want to access a service that's right, front and centre on Main Street. But we need to consider a location that is accessible by public transport as well. So just wondering what the vibes are at other regional towns that you've been to, or have Headspace.
If you'd like to press the button again.
Yes, thank you.
Very fancy.
Not used to it. So thank you, that's really good feedback. And also at the moment, we try to find a location that, we can hire. One of the things that we also, as organisation running Headspace centres, we do have to have or meet certain rules, I guess. It has to be big enough so that young people feel like, well, yes, this is your space, but also like you can build up some group room if that's something that you want to see, or like a reception has to be inviting, not, just a tiny sort of. So there are some restrictions in that way, so we try to find or U-Turn is try to find a place that sort of meets that sort of. But then again, one of the things that I think that, your feedback is valuable is really as you live here, what would be, like again, transportation options to what would be the convenient, where the hangout that most of the people are. That sort of information we can't find unless we live here. So I think that sort of feedback would be really appreciated, and that helps us to also find, I guess, sites that is close enough to, what you sort of would like, I suppose. I mean, obviously it depends on what's available and that sort of stuff too, but still, that's a really good suggestion, so thank you.
Yeah, just to follow up, it's that the consideration of like it being accessible to public transport is definitely something that has been discussed and looked at. But that's really good feedback about Main Street being like wanting it to be off Main Street. So that's really like that kind of like I guess local knowledge is what we're looking for.
Just quickly as well, I think your feedback could be earlier. One thing too is that I guess that not like say where we are in the middle of the city. I think that headspace centres in the regions that say U-turn run or other services similar to that. You know, often headspace centres might be, you know, the only mental health service that's accessible for people in that area. So I think that again, headspace being sort of try to, I guess, meet the need of young people who are there. They can be a bit more flexible when it comes to how they offer services. So hopefully that's sort of addition to what James already said about, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Does anybody else have any more questions for these guys? Gia?
Just a question about timelines. How long from between sort of now do you think you're looking to open? Do you have any idea of how long that might be?
That's the question that we can't really answer. Normally, lead-in time would be 3 to 6 months, but I can't sort of guarantee that's how it happens. And I think normally with Headspace especially, correct me if I'm wrong, but there wasn't a Headspace in this region yet. So in that way, I think that normally the primary health network who gives like funding tend to be, they want to get mental health services right if it's first time. So normally there's a bit more sort of lead-in time, but again, that's more time for people to give input and feedback, and we try to find the right location. So yeah, sorry, I'm not really answering the question because I don't know exactly when, but that's the sort of roughly what we're looking at. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Go ahead, Gia.
Excellent. And how or what time frame would you like feedback from the committee by? When would that be helpful if they do want to have a bit of a discussion and jot them some thoughts down?
As it comes through, and I think it'd be great if it was a possible ongoing discussion as well. So, you know, shoot through any questions immediately, and yeah, you know, once things start happening, you know, I think you have these meetings twice a month, twice every 2 months or something. When the public forum's open, we're happy to come back and share progress and or communicate with the team or the group as part of that. But
and in the meantime, if you would like to sort of give a feedback directly to us, we've got the list. So we're not going to collect any sort of information as a detailed information, but contact numbers so that we can contact you and then get your feedback and opinion directly until the next meeting, if that suits. So, yeah.
Amazing, thank you. I'm going to hand over to Debbie quickly.
Yeah, sorry. When I was speaking to Tim, obviously from Headspace, he did, just so that the committee knows, he said there's 2 locations currently identified in Gawler as possible sites. They are big enough, so that was one of the options as well, if there's committee members that want to be involved in looking at the sites and seeing if they're close. One is near the Gawler Primary School and the other one is just behind us on Duffield Street. So both close to public transport, both close to, well, one's closer to the main street than the other, but that's the 2 locations were big enough. But then they did also ask if there's any other locations that could be considered. That's something as well. But if you want to, you can feedback to me or to Abby, or you can individually contact them as well.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, thank you. Just out of interest, just touching on the fact that you're willing to come back for public open forum again, which obviously greatly appreciated. You're just trying to net that feedback from the committee. Would there be an appetite to hold a bit of an information briefing, just to give examples and really bed into what you're delivering in other regional areas, what similarities that you see Gawler being, you know, some services like almost show the shopping list, let's say, instead of, you know, trying to get members to sort of shoot from the hip, you know, just to say, hey, would this fit in, do you think? And just run through the model. Would there be an appetite there if the committee so thought? Yeah.
Councillor Davies.
Yeah, just to second that, I think, it's probably a little too vague at the moment in terms of what would you like to see, because, you know, I could say a water slide or whatever, but what you mean is, would you like to see one of 5 different options or whatever that you've already you've got in front of you, but we don't have in front of us. So I think having it, you know, having more of an information session where we're like, this is the model at this place, this is the model at this place, I think would be quite helpful.
Amazing. Thank you. Would you guys like to speak on that?
I think that we can definitely come back and share, I guess, more from the Queensland Headspace and U-turn model. Obviously, Headspace itself has its own model that we can, U-turn is flexible within that space. But yeah, we can definitely share a bit more, I guess, more detailed on how that looks on the ground.
And also as well that we can potentially show some of the maybe look of the Headspace centres, so that might sort of give you some idea about, you know, what it could look like, and yeah, so that's a great idea. So I would definitely pass on to Tim.
Amazing. Thank you guys very much. Do we have any more questions, queries, comments? Jade?
Maybe when we're more aware of kind of the model that's currently in place and we're going to view these locations, potentially the members who do go to view the locations to maybe just jot down some pros and cons and deliberate with the rest of the committee. I think that would be nice, so that we're all still involved in this as we come into the public open forum. That's what I have to say.
Amazing. Thank you. Anybody else? Bernie?
So this is sort of like a feedback on the location stuff. So I think maybe you guys could consider like the locations where the Evanston Library is. I think that's like very accessible to the bus and as well as the train. And also I think it's quite close to school as well. Like I think it's like within the walkable distance from Rich. And I also think they have some empty facilitate from the government as well. Maybe you can ask chair for that. I'm not really sure about but basically I think the library in Evanston, somewhere there could be a possible solution for that. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Would you guys like to speak on anything else?
I think thank you for having us, letting us talk, and for your very good questions. And yeah, looking forward to coming back out and I guess through Debbie and Tim and Lolly to make that happen.
Amazing. Continue.
I was just going to say, and I don't, not wanting to open this up, but if anyone has, their experiences from maybe engaging with the Headspace Centre already in Adelaide, and what has and what hasn't worked for you, and what you've seen in those spaces, because the young people that we work with, we share and tailor our program a little bit differently than Headspace as well, based on our young people's feedback. So if that's, from of your experiences, you feel comfortable doing that, we're more than willing and would like to hear that as well. But thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ken and James. Thank you for your time. Anybody who has any further questions or queries or is interested to have a look at the spaces, please direct them to the lovely Debbie, and Debbie will be in contact with you guys soon with any feedback that we've gathered. So thank you again very much for your time. Alrighty. We are going to move on to item 4, which is declarations of interest. Do we have any as of current? Nope. Kind of. Would you like to have a chat with Councillor Davies? We'll just take a moment break while these guys chat. Thank you for the break. We're going to move on to item 5, which is confirmation of minutes. I'm hoping everybody got a chance to have a look over the minutes from the December meeting. Could I please have a mover? Jade, and a seconder. Darcy. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item 6 is business arising from minutes. Did we have anything from the previous minutes? Councillor Davies?
I guess this is just more miscellaneous, but one of the businesses that Councillor Shanks, the Deputy Mayor, has joined our committee, and I don't think he's been given a chance to introduce himself or anything, so I thought that might be it.
Amazing. Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak?
Thank you to my colleague for putting me on the spot there. Yes, look, my name's Nathan Shanks. I'm currently the Deputy Mayor. I humbly took over from Cody Davies. For those that don't follow council, which, you know, fair enough too, I didn't when I was your age. Councillor Davies and myself were pretty frequent on the Youth Advisory Committee in our first term. And an opportunity came up and I was able to put my hand up again because I've really enjoyed, I guess, the conversations that are sparked in this room in the Youth Advisory Committee. And yeah, I think, you know, I speak on not only myself but on behalf of Cody Davies as well, that we're really just here to assist you guys in getting to where you see you want to go, realistically. And obviously, you know, being a part of this committee, it's really empowering when it comes to the chamber and decisions that we get to make. Being involved in the conversation is something that we really hold value in. So it was an opportunity where I saw an opening and I jumped at it again because this is one of my more favourite committees. But yeah, please know that I don't say that to all committees. So yes, thank you for the welcome, and I really look forward to working with you for this term.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. Any questions? Amazing. We are going to move on to item 7, which is the decision reports, starting with the appointment of presiding member and deputy presiding member to the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee. We are now calling for nominations for presiding member, which is chairperson, and deputy presiding member, which is deputy chair. Would anybody like to nominate for chairperson? I am also nominating. Emerson? Very good. Would you like to introduce yourself and explain why you're interested?
Well, hello, I'm Emerson Speed, I'm Debbie's son. To be honest, I joined this for self-confidence a while ago, and I've actually quite enjoyed this a lot, and I am following up on a promise I made with Edward Sharp, the employee. He wanted to nominate me last time chair happened, and I said next time. He's not here, but I'm going to keep the promise I made. I will be a bit honest, it is for a little bit of selfish reason. I would like to gain a bit more confidence, but at the same time, I feel like having someone else be up there rather than us switching, because we've been switching a lot, is something that person can experience, because you guys do get to do a lot more, and look, I can't be 100% honest and say I will be the best or I will enjoy it, all of it, but I would love to give it a try, and I would love to try out all these unique things that happens within that position.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Emerson. Can we note that Emerson has nominated himself, please? I'm also renominating as well. I have really enjoyed my time over the past year. I've learned a lot about communicating with people, and had a really great time getting to know everyone and also being a person that people can come to with their feedback and ideas and working it into something that we can hopefully present at meetings. As the meetings have been bi-monthly, I would love to give it a bit more time before I move on to not so much something else, but resume my seat along one of the sides. However, I do trust that whoever will be chair next will do an absolutely fantastic job and that we will all be able to support them very well. Is there anybody else nominating for chair? No. All right, on our tables we have some little sheets of paper here. They're the voting papers. One says chair and one says deputy chair. If you could please turn your paper onto the side that says chair and write your first choice and your second choice. I'll give you a moment to do that. Oh, yes, we can ask questions. Apologies. First question, Lily.
Well, you can vote for yourselves.
We can vote for ourselves or we can vote for each other. It is your decision.
Third question, I need a pen.
Yes. Oh, here's a pen. We have a pen. Any questions about myself or Emerson or pens or paper? Once you've written yours, if you could please fold it in half and then pass it on to Debbie, that would be amazing. We're going to move on to Deputy Presiding Member, so Deputy Chair. Oh, sorry.
We would do the chair election first because often the one who doesn't make chair will want to run for deputy chair,
Okay,
so they'll need
amazing.
to know.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Chia is going through them. So, Deputy Mayor.
Am I able just to share a little bit of insight just while the count's happening? It's funny because, you know, both Cody and myself have been chair and also not chair or proxy or deputy. You know, we've rotated through. One of the things that I always notice when chairing, and you might be able to confirm this, Abby, but sometimes, depending on the committee or depending on the structure, it is a little bit difficult chairing as well as contributing to item by item to the depth that you need to, because you're actually playing that umpire to a degree. And, you know, that is a very good experience to take away. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes even when you're not chairing, you can actually provide even more value. If you take council members, and that's not to take away from what you do, Abby, please don't take that away. But if you take the mayor as an example in a council meeting, for example, she actually doesn't have a vote when we're deliberating. So she only gets a casting vote. So when we're sitting there debating heavily on whatever matter we might be debating, sometimes you can actually feel for the mayor because she is there to umpire that meeting, and the only time that she is able to contribute to the direction is when you've got a tie vote. And other than that, it's on to next business, But that chair has to go out and sell the decision of that committee, of that chamber, regardless of how they felt on the map. It's just an interesting little quirk that comes in the governance side of committees. And, some people sometimes get a little bit mixed up on, the power that the mayor has on decision making. But when we get down to it, it's an interesting sort of point that it took me a couple of years to actually pick up and learn. But yeah, interesting point to make that sometimes being on committees, it is handier being that member rather than having to play umpire. Again, not taking away from the great work Abby's doing.
Thank you very much. Handing on to Jade.
Can I add to that? Even for those wanting to consider running for deputy, as someone who was chair for a couple of years, this committee thrives off conversation. So when you're sitting here along the panels, you don't really feel like talking. It's really important when the chairperson or the deputy chairperson can start conversation in any way, even if it's just asking the committee their opinions on something. So even if you're not running for chair or deputy this year, it's important to think about their position as well as you're just a community member. That's what the rest of us are called. Please support your chairperson and your deputy chairperson as they try to make conversation both in this meeting and the next meeting. And they will love you if they don't have to talk as much. So please nominate.
Thank you very much, Jade. I think I might really quickly add one thing before we hand over to Chia, that at the end of the day, we are all here to support each other as well. And whoever is chair/deputy chair, we're here to share your voice. So it's a bit hard to share your voice if you don't talk to us. So whoever will be chair, I trust they'll be amazing. But make sure that you have a chat with them. Even if you're not sure how you want to go about something, have a chat with them, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you. If not, they'll go bug Chia, and Chia will tell them how they can help you with that one. Handing over to Chia now.
Excellent, thank you. It was very, very close, obviously 11 votes. We have 6 votes for Abby and 5 for Emerson. So Abby is the new presiding member. Round of applause, and thank you to Emerson for your interest as well.
Yes, very big thank you to Emerson as well. Now might be a good time to move on to deputy chair votes. Hint, hint. Handing over to Debbie really quickly.
If anyone that does nominate for deputy chair wants to come to some of the things that Abby does get invited to, you are more than welcome to also come as a deputy chair or presiding deputy member. You are also welcome to attend those events like anyone on the YAC committee, so the invitation can be put out to them as well.
Thank you very much, Debbie. We are now taking nominations for deputy chair. So would anybody like to nominate for deputy chair? Bernie? Anybody else? You have free will. You can do what you please. And Emerson. We've had Emerson's spiel already. Do we need another one for deputy chair? Yeah. Bernie, all yours.
Right, so the reason why I want to run in for this one is, so first thing is that I want really to improve my social skills while doing some leadership roles and also will be actually able to assist me with completing my IIF assignment as well, as a bit selfish to be like this, but that's sort of why. So 2 points. One is really to improving my social skill, and another is really to have some materials in order to complete my school assignment, and I also wanted to bring some my ideas to the community and to make some real change for that. So that's why I elect for as deputy chair. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Bernie. Did we have any questions for Bernie or Emerson as they're both nominating? All right, you have your deputy chair paper somewhere on your table. As previously, please write your first choice and your second choice. You can refer to the name badges if you please. And once you're done, fold your paper in half and someone will collect it.
So, since we're doing little commentary while the counting happened, I thought I'd give my little story. I was deputy chair at the Youth Advisory Committee for 1 month, and then I got kicked off for being too old. There's a bit of a mix-up. They changed the terms of reference, and I was turned 24 or whatever, and they're like, oh, you can't run again, your time's expiring. And I was like, but you elected me deputy chair last month. I was like, so, yeah, tragic. But yes, it's tough running. It's tough running for election. I've actually run for deputy mayor maybe 4 times, and I lost 3 of them. You know, it's just it's the fun, the thrill of the game. Abby, you like my story, don't you? It's great fun. So if you become deputy chair, if you last longer than a month, you'll beat my record.
Excellent. Well, as we have heard Councillor Davey's villain origin story again, we have the results in. We have Emerson is the new deputy chair with 8 votes. Bernie, thank you for running your 3.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, everyone, for voting. You can now return your name badges to a straight line, if you please. I'd like to note that in accordance with the terms of reference, that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee appoints Abby Dale to the position of presiding member of the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee for a term of 1 year, and appoints Emerson Speed to the position of deputy presiding member of the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee, also for a term of 1 year. Could I please have a mover? Darcy. And a seconder? Bernie. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much, everybody. And I look forward to working with my new deputy chair as well. We're going to move on to the Youth Development Program update, and we will be handing over to Debbie for her programs update. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. Through the chair. It's been extremely busy. If you were here in January for any of the school holiday programs, you will know it was a very busy time. All the programs were fully booked. We just kept adding people to the film, and I'm sure they'll update you a bit later about that, but that's okay because it was a little bit more fun. We roped in a lot of people along the way. I think we could do that every school holidays and still, come out on top there. So it was great to see so many new young people access our programs in January, which was great because they have now starting to come back to a few other things. Some people we only see in school holidays and some we see in term, so it is good for them to come, and the exciting ones that just turn 12 that get to come to our programs. There's always a couple of those that we get to meet each school holidays. That's always really nice. So school holidays was busy but a lot of fun. History Month, we are still planning. We hit a bit of a hiccup with our geocaching locations, and that seems to be now sorted, so we should be back on that, and anyone that's interested in helping us, we are going to need some help on a couple of the questions. They're not quite right, so obviously we want your feedback as well. The feedback so far is the question needs a little bit harder and one of them needs to be a bit easier, so we sort of need to find that balance. Those of you that have put your hand up to volunteer on the day that we launch this and do the geocaching, we won't give you the clues, that's okay. But if you do want to be involved, please let us know. April plans are underway with our skate park event this year going to be on a Monday for the first time ever. It normally is on a Saturday, and the reason we've moved it is because it fell on the same day as the Gather Rounds in Lyndoch, which meant that we were not going to get the community that we normally get to our skate park event. So We have moved it to the Monday. It will still be a family-friendly fun day, so there'll be giant games, lots of free stuff to do for the community. So we will start advertising that very shortly. Information will come out and we'll be asking any YAC members that want to come along and volunteer. If you haven't been before, it is a really good day. You get to meet so many people from the community. It was really cute last year. We had mini golf, giant Guess Who, a few other things as well. So it was just nice to be able to talk to the community and be part of that, as well as having our skate park event. Term 2 programs, planning is under the way. We would like to tonight, obviously most of us have got our shirts on, we'll head downstairs after, and Cody and Nathan, there's some shirts there if you'd like to pop on a shirt. We're going to head down to our fringe display, which you may have seen down the bottom of the Civic Centre, and take some photos to advertise our involvement in fringe this year. If you can come to the opening, we'd love to see you. That urban art design down there was made by some of you guys in here, like at least 3 of you were involved. So that was actually a really big project, and I don't think people thought that it could be pulled together to create a room that could be put in for people to sit on Gawler's couch. So that's what it is, it's Gawler's couch. We're going to see how many famous people we can get to come and sit on our couch. So, and plus, you're famous. So don't forget, Cody will be doing his TikTok down there later. We're going to be following up also on the outstanding working with children's checks. We do apologise that we didn't do that in late December. Time just got away from us. So those of you that are new to the committee, we'll be reaching out to you to, I know some of you have already got them, so we'll get a copy of that and we'll also start those. There is a youth summit this year. I mentioned it at the last meeting, but it will be on the 5th of April. So it's just before school holidays on the Saturday, and it will be at the Adelaide University in the gardens out the front there. If there's any YAC members that are interested in speaking, I believe Councillor Isaac and Councillor Ethan have been invited to speak already. But if there's any YAC members that would like to speak, that would like to play music, that would like to come as part of a youth band / entertainment, please reach out to me, because we can nominate what we want to do. But otherwise, if you want to go, we can organise to all go together, or we can meet you there. It should be a good day. There'll be live music, there'll be talks, there'll be all sorts. So there'll be more information coming out very soon. So that's the 5th of April, if you can book that in your calendars if you're interested. And the 3rd of March, we've earmarked for our training / YAC team building. So Susie will be here at 6 o'clock. I will send you a calendar invite for governance training, and that is just to run through like council meetings, things like that. It's especially good for new members, as well as just to remind us. And then we'll head to the youth space, where we'll be able to talk about the sponsorship awards if you are interested in having part of that update. Otherwise, we'll be playing games and hanging out. So team building in the youth space. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Debbie. Did anybody have any questions or comments? Jade?
Just on the training, is there an option to join online? Because I may not be here.
Yeah, we can Zoom you in. Yeah, it will just be us in here, but we can Zoom you, yes.
Thank you very much. Any more questions? No? Amazing. Could I please have a mover, Aislinn, and a seconder, Lily? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. We'd like to note that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee notes the Youth Development Program update report. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to items 9. So 9.1 is the presiding member verbal update. I wasn't able to meet with the Mayor in December, unfortunately. However, we did meet earlier on this month. We basically did a recap of the events from last year. We spoke about how the youth were involved, and she seemed very pleased with everyone's involvement, and it was great to see a lot of you guys at heaps of different events. And we were discussing how youth can be more involved in the community this year and other community events that we will hopefully be hosting soon. 9.2 is the Youth Advisory Panel update. We haven't met ever. I don't actually think I've met with this year's group of people, so I'm unsure if we would like to keep that in items listed for discussion. Debbie will be following that up, thank you. 9.3 is Gawler Youth's Accessibility to Transport and Bike Month. Max, would you like to speak on this one?
There's no update from me since it's been the summer holidays, but if anyone is interested in improving public transport accessibility, feel free to reach out to me and we'll have a bit of a discussion. But apart from that, there's nothing from me to this meeting.
Thank you. Any questions for Max? Councillor Davies.
I guess just some comments around the accessibility to transport. We've actually had, there's been quite a good amount of discussion about transport in Gawler recently. Some of it caused by my Facebook page, but some of it caused by a truck ramming into Tony Piccolo's veranda. But it's, look, I don't know how it got there either. There's been, and we've had a lot of talk about public transport, especially the new developments. I've just been contacted recently by someone at the Aspire estate in Evanston South who really struggles to find any public transport, because I think the bus network would have been set up, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that, and a bunch of the places, Springwood and Aspire and all that, just don't have a bus network, and that is, council are aware of that, and we are working with the state government on improving that. So hopefully that will help with a few of the issues around just dead spots for public transport in Gawler.
Thank you very much. Did we have any questions for either Max or Councillor Davies? No? Amazing, thank you. We're going to move to 9.4, which is the youth programs update. We're going to hand over to Lily to update us on the band program.
So, band started back this term last week on Tuesday. Upcoming this month, 21st of February at 5 p.m, we're doing the Fringe opening on the balcony in the Civic Centre. Does that mean that balcony out? Yeah. Playing out there 5 p.m, 21st of February, so it's Saturday. And then the next day on the 22nd, we have Fringe in the Park, which I'm pretty sure is at Apex Park at 10:30 a.m, I've been told. Band's going pretty good. I forgot if I'd mentioned that our new song is released last time, but it is. And yeah, we're going pretty well. We're just working towards songs for Fringe, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily. I'm going to hand over to Emerson to speak about drama.
Hello. The drama update, we are in the full stages of preparing for our play in March. Yep. We've been doing some vocal exercises and just breaching our voice louder, thanks to Abby here, while Makala is being more focusing on how we say certain lines in the how that character would. And recently today, we were doing more actions and how our character would be moving while just on the stage. We have been also getting ready for costumes. Pretty much almost everyone has got their costume, besides some couple missed pieces. A lot of shoes. I don't know if I should advertise, but if you guys do have some old-ish clothing that you're willing to let us use, that would be great. I know we are looking for oldish aprons right now. I think also a couple of navy like shirts or suits, jackets, and of course we are missing quite a lot of shoes, like I said. So any like old school formal shoes you don't need. Just checking with Debbie. Like I'm assuming any time, like Youth Space usually takes donation for clothes and stuff. It'd be really nice, even if it's like you have an old scarf or something like that. It'd be great. Of course, don't feel forced into this. And also, if you are like, this is too delicate, you don't have to give it to us. You don't. If it is and you trust us, just tell us and we will take care of it. I promise. That's all.
Thank you, Emerson. Lily?
And for reference on costumes, it is set in 1912.
Thank you very much.
So like old, you might think like 50s, it's 1912. So Titanic. It's the year of the Titanic.
Oh dear. Yes, Art in the Making also starts this week, we'd like to note. We'll be making some props for the drama performance and then working on art pieces for the upcoming shows. 9.5 is the youth event update. Oh, sorry, Jade.
Yeah, just a question on donations. Maybe if you put together like a costume list and you post that on like the Facebook group so we can go through and see if there's anything we'd be willing to donate or let borrow. Because that's what we used to do in high school and it worked. People will get rid of stuff if you tell them what to bring.
Thank you, Jade. Bernie?
Yes, I also have the question on donation for clothes. Like, I think I've had a set of private school like uniform, including blazer, tops, and the bottoms. Also for PE uniform, would you like inquire to that? It's quite good condition, and I think the size usually is like extra large, something like that.
Great. Thank you very much. Sorry, I lost where I'm up to. Yes, end of year event will be on the 17th of December. Sorry, it was on the 17th of December. Oh dear. Of last year. There was 2 short films which were made all by young people, and then apparently we all watched Beetlejuice. I only popped in very shortly to do my spiel, and then I was like, sorry, I'm dressed as a reindeer, I need to go because it's Santa's workshop. The school holidays, I'll hand over to Lily, I believe, to talk about the writing workshop.
So we had Jordan Hawkey, who is a children's author, mainly a children's author, wrote a set of books called Twins of Legend, I believe, about meerkats. In Gawler, he ran a writing workshop like pretty early in January in the youth space. We had like a few people come and we did a lot of character building. We learned how to plan stories, like storyboard, plan things out with like graphs and stuff. And then he taught us about like printing books, so what to sort of go with to get books printed and edited and stuff. And it was very helpful for any young people who would want to write books in the future. Yeah, we just did some like writing improv-y stuff and then made up a character together and made up a story for him. And it went quite well, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily. Emerson, would you like to talk about the puppet making?
Yeah, I thought you were going back to Lily with D&D. I don't know the name. I'm not as prepared as Lily, sorry. But we had this nice, lovely lady come in and let us make puppets. She had some base colours set out for us because, unfortunately, we can't, change the body too much. She had an amazing, a bunch, to this table, to that table, I swear, it was just all buttons, cogs, eyeballs, so many eyeballs. She started by showing us different types of foam. It was quite interesting. The normal, squishy foam we have is what, I just assumed was a lot. And they would just make it more denser. But no, they made specific foams for certain things. And she passed around a couple of them. She even brought in some really expensive foam and fabric and was like, oh yeah, you can use it. And I was sitting there oh no, please, no. Cause like I trust our young people, but at the same time, she was like, "This is really expensive." Like, and she would, I think she did list the price, and I was like, and then later on they're like, "Oh yeah, just use it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." She passed me a piece of fabric that was like she brought in like, of course, assortment of fabrics, and there was some green arms that Debbie played with. I won't lie. Debbie went around touching kids. That sounds wrong. With puppet hands. Yeah, but there was really expensive fabric that she brought in, and she just passed it to me and just went, "Draw a circle in it." And I was like, "Okay." And she made me make it. It was really big. And there was still, I tried to make it so that the fabric would be usable afterwards. And she collected pieces. She was like, just chuck it in the bin. I'm like, what? It was really, it stressed me out a lot. But it made a lot of people create a flow. We had a drag queen puppet. We had a mushroom puppet. We had a punk puppet. I wouldn't have a name for the puppet I made. It was a thing. It had a gear heart. I made a gear heart. That was kind of its unique feature. Unfortunately, I don't. Oh, we had a Sonic puppet. Someone made a Sonic puppet. There was one more, but I do not remember it. Unfortunately, it was a really cool and interesting experience. But I won't lie, I was stressing when she was just like, "It's fine." And I was.
Oh dear. So what we can conclude is Emerson will not be making expensive puppets in future. Thank you very much.
Please no.
Gonna hand back to Lily really quickly for a quick chat about D&D.
I don't have many notes on this one, so it will be quite quick. It was very fun. I'm pretty sure everyone had a good time and enjoyed it. There was some pretty good teamwork because Dungeons & Dragons has a lot of team building stuff with working in parties to defeat things. And yeah, there was quite a lot of pretty funny jokes, and pretty sure everyone had a good time. So
Amazing, thank you very much. Across to Jade, firstly. Do we have any updates on the Gawler band as of recent?
The only update I have is that we really need a drummer. So if anyone knows someone who plays drums or any percussion and is free at this time on a Monday night. So yeah, we start at 7 till 9 on a Monday. So Darcy and I are heading there right after this. Pardon? Any instrument, but particularly percussion, please. Yeah, we play a lot more than just, I don't know, whatever you think a school band plays. Currently looking at a Taylor Swift arrangement, which is going to be really nice. But yeah, we play jazz, pop, funk. I don't know, anything you can think of, the band's been playing it. We're 160 years old, and we would love some younger faces. So yeah, if you know anyone, please send them my contacts or tell them to come along. We're at the community centre now, so if you know where you're skating, just come along there and ask for the band. Or you'll hear us. You'll hear us, surely.
Amazing, thank you. Do we have any questions on any of that so far? If not, we'll hand over to Aislinn to speak about our drama rehearsals so far.
There we go. Got too many microphones. Emerson stole a bunch of my points, thank you. But we had 2 rehearsals over the holidays in the January program. We focused a lot on pulling all the things that we were working on in term together, and we got to rehearse up here on the stage that we'll be using. So it was really nice to see everything tied together. We got to mess around with costumes a bit, which is great because it's so, it's a period piece, so there's a lot of different, it's not just everyday clothes. Yeah, we had a projection workshop with Abby, which was great. Apparently we could be heard from the library, and people came in from the street because they were wondering why there was so much yelling. So we were projecting very well. And yeah, it was mainly just putting everything together. We did a little bit of stage combat, which is going to be great fun. You should definitely come see it in March, I think 8th of March at the Fringe.
We have 2 shows on the 8th of March. Keep an eye out on the Gawler Youth page for more ticket information. Or there's flyers. It is called The Marvellous Melodrama of the Marriage of the Mislaid Minor by Kristen Doherty. Yes, 10 out of 10 should be there. I can't find the description. It is somewhere. Gawler Youth are very proud to present the marvellous mellow melodrama of the marriage of the mislaid miner. This quirky, well-crafted story is set in London, complete with accents, and follows a girl returning home to inform her ill father of her engagement, only to discover he has promised her hand to the villainous Dirk Dastardly, who has taken all their wealth. Dun, dun, dun. No spoilers. Alrighty. Thank you very much, everybody, for all the program updates. Does anybody have any questions regarding any of the programs, performances? Lily? Okay, well, other programs, please chat with the lovely Deb or look on the Gawler Youth page for more details. Moving on to 9.6, which is the Youth Sponsorship Review. 3rd of March, we will have a catch-up after the training. We'll have a chat about it with our team building, so please be there. There's quite a lot to discuss. 9.7 is the Bunyip Generation Now column. We need 2 as soon as possible, 2 articles by the end of the week, please. Debbie will speak on it.
Sorry, through the chair. We voted to keep this, but no one wants to write pieces. Can I please have 2 pieces by the end of the week? Thank you, Ren. Another one. The other person can have till the end of next week. It can be on anything. It can be about the upcoming band performance, it can be upcoming drama show, it can be about absolutely anything. Anything like finishing high school, starting university, doing anything you like. All right, that's all right. I'm going to take you all. So Ren, Bernie, Emerson, and Jade. All right, so Ren, if I can have yours by the end of the... Oh, Asen. Sorry, everybody. Good. All right, so Ren, if I can have yours by the end of the week, and then if everyone else can get me yours in the following week, then we'll have them all teamed up, and I won't have marketing chasing me. Thank you. I had a question. I'll put your name down now.
No questions, only articles. Thank you very much. What is your question, Emerson? Would you like to press the button?
No, because it was going to be like just a simple question to this, like, do we want to, as we are for 3 years, like, do we want to combine and do a drama movie too? Yeah, that we could do 2 weeks. That way.
And you can include some photos from that.
You have free will. You can do what you please within reason. On to 9.8. Has anybody been to any events, community events, since December? I have one thing to add, but would anybody like to share? Have you been to any gigs around the area? Park run? Council of the Davies? Filming? Oh, convenient.
Yeah, actually there was a youth film filmed in this very civic centre. And I had a starring role in the background of one of the shots. So look forward to that in April for Youth Week.
I would also like to speak on the youth film. My little brother wrote and directed the whole thing. He's amazing. And I played like sort of a minor role. I was a dead body. It's going to be like a murder mystery. It's going to come out in the April school holidays at the Gawler Cinema, and looking forward to it. Hope someone else is looking forward to seeing it too. Thank you.
I don't know how good your memories are, but before when this was originally said I was a main character, I got sick. I'm in like 1 scene so far, and I don't think the other scenes are getting recorded. So the new stars have been Molly Jones, if I get the last name correct there, and then also Joshua Jones, their brother, and also Annie. I do not know Annie's last name, I'm sorry. Annie Styles. They are amazing actors. Josh is going way out of his comfort, so he's playing a crazy person. He's very nice. B, do go watch it. I was there for the first day. It's serious effort. Thank you, Oscar. Also, thank you, Lily, because you did a lot behind the cameras as well. Abby also did makeup. I wasn't there that day, so I didn't know. Everyone has pulled so much for this film. So many people have come in. I know you might be like, youth film, it's nothing, but seriously, if you have the time that day, go and watch it. I don't know how long it is, but it'll be worth it, please.
Across to Debbie.
Through the chair, we are going to film those missing scenes on green screen. We're just waiting for Oscar, the director, and the assistant director and the film company owner to give us a date, and then they're going to somehow put your face over the top of Joshua's face. So we'll just work out how the green screen works if you're into film editing.
Thank you very much. Lily?
Oscar can come to drama because Emerson's there. He can come with me to drama one day to film it.
Amazing. Any further questions, comments? No. Ooh. I'm beating up the microphone, I'm so sorry. I will add very quickly as well, I might be a little bit biased as a Fringe artist, but Fringe is approaching. Please support the arts. Arts means so much. Arts is music, acting, film, as well as painting, creating. There's so many different forms of arts, and artists work so unbelievably hard just for people to walk past and go, look at that picture. So please support the arts, eat the fruit, pursue the knowledge, have the best time during Fringe, and keep an eye out for what we are doing during Fringe as well, because it should be very good to see lots of community members involved. Thank you. Don't forget as well that the next YAC meeting is the next YAC meet-up is the 3rd of March. We'll have committee training at 6 p.m. and then some games and sponsorship review in the youth space. Item 10 is items listed for discussion at future meetings. I have noted here, would us as young people like to consider a budget bid for the 2026 and 2027 financial years for a large urban art piece designed by young people? So I might actually hand over to Debbie because she will have more knowledge on this than I do.
Obviously on the weekend we put up our urban art thing downstairs, and there's always constant interest in urban art, and that program always books out. So in the future, obviously not right this second, but looking forward to the future if there is anyone interested. There's quite a few young people that have recently approached and wanting to do larger work. So it's just, if you're not, that's fine. The other young people will probably approach some councillors themselves otherwise.
Thank you very much, Debbie. Councillor Davies?
So, sorry, when you said a budget bid, are you talking about the one coming up this June, or are you talking about, next year? Okay, so we've got time. All good?
Thank you very much. From our previous meeting, across to Jade.
Sorry. Just in regards to the budget bid, do we know a rough estimate for it to be worth a budget bid rather than just using youth funds? So it would be so to get over 10,000. Okay, good to know.
Amazing, thank you. From our previous meeting, the 2nd of December, it's been noted that discussions are ongoing regarding the Youth Committee, whether it should remain a Section 41 committee or transition into a working group. This topic is set to be addressed during our team building evening on the 2nd of June this year. As well as that, we have noted that Jade has requested that our new CEO be invited to an upcoming meeting this year, if we are able to arrange/reach out to him, and hopefully he can come along and see what we get up to. Item 11 is questions without notice. Do we have any questions? Jade?
Also, just regarding the items listed for discussion, I'd just like to bring up again the disability and inclusion plan. as it's now 2025, and we're hoping that the state government will release their plan, and I'd like for the youth advisory to be really involved when that comes out and see how Gawler can change their plan to better inclusion for young people and those with disabilities. So I'd like to add that.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Jade. We will note that. Any other questions without notice? No. We're going to move on to motions without notice. I believe Emerson would like to mention a motion, which is reaching out for an information briefing session with U-Turn, if you'd like to speak on this.
Sorry again for making this meeting go so long. So what I was thinking while I was talking, I was also paying attention, of course. I think it would be a great opportunity if we were able to hire out this room and invite either the age group. I was also thinking a bit younger because, 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 9-year-olds, I understand your risk with the youth, that's a bit young. But at the same time, a parent can always sit in the back of the room. I just would rather not hear from parents in this situation for this. I know can sound crazy to adults, but in this, it seriously is young people, and I want to hear young people. And because those 11, 9, 10s are going to be, eventually, they are going to be in that 12 to 25 or 24, and they will need a space. I'm sorry, this world is harsh. People need a space. So I would like to advertise, maybe make posters together or something, post it online, and advertise a meetup where they can come in here, no judgment. We're going to have a whiteboard, some paper. We'll start with just, people telling their plans. We'll write them on the whiteboard, and then we might, I would love for anyone who could come, could split into groups and do some mind maps, just get them involved, because I understand and want to hear from you guys as well. I assumed you all have experiences, even the older people in this room. But it's not just for us. This is something I want to take seriously, and I'm willing to put in the time for this. I want to hear from the public. I want to hear from those people who feel like they don't have a voice, because that's our main demographic. That's our main people. We're not looking at the people. I'm not going to say we aren't looking at people who have so much self-confidence and can speak in front of 10,000 people. They also have bad days, and I will never discard that. But I want to hear from that one little kid who's so scared of this world and just wants a safe space. Maybe they'll tell us, I just want a place where I can go, just hang with a group every so often. And yes, I understand we have the youth space, but sometimes you don't want to do a program. Sometimes you just want to be in a room, a bunch of strangers, you make new friends, play a video game, play a board game, do whatever. And sometimes you would have a sit in a circle, because that was something that needs to also happen. But I need for you to all understand this. I really want this to work very well. And I want to hear from all these young people more than I want to hear from you guys. That is a bit harsh, but it's true. We have so many opportunities for voice. I want to hear from the public. That's all.
Thank you very much, Emerson. Did we have any questions regarding that?
So we're going to put a motion around what the motion is. Yeah, so we've got here an open session. So just see if that's correct.
Just like to double check with you, Emerson, before moving forward, that we'll put a motion in for an open session to be arranged with U-Turn, with the Youth Advisory Committee as well, and other local young community members to provide ideas and feedback for the new headspace in Gawler. Good? Perfect. All right, do we have any questions regarding this new motion? No. Okay. Emerson will be moving this one. Do we have a seconder? Lily? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Our other noted motion here is the resignation of a committee member. So we'd like to note that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee acknowledges the resignation of Ace Selleck, and the committee thanks Ace for their service on the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee. Could I please have a mover? Lily? And a seconder? Emerson? All those in favour? Carried. I believe that is all that we have for this evening. Thank you all so much for coming back for our first meeting of this year. If we have any other questions or queries, please reach out to Deb, Chia, myself, our new Deputy Chair, or honestly anyone here. We're all here for a good chat. Another reminder, we are heading downstairs for photos after the meeting, but please make sure that we are here for our next meetup, which again is on the 3rd of March this year. We have committee training at 6 p.m, and then we will have lots of fun in the youth space. I'd like to close the meeting officially at 7:53 p.m, and our next ordinary meeting will be on Monday the 5th of May, commencing at 6:30 p.m. Thank you. Have a good evening.